Welcome to a very respectful, historic Black History Month Dude Soup.
Oh no!
Oh boy!
Hey, yeah. Now everybody was wondering what we're going to talk about, right?
The good news is, for those who don't know, we're all rested. Because we're on vacation.
Yeah,
Where?
it was great.
In which we had the most extreme vacation of all time.
No, Lawrence had the most extreme vacation.
Well, vicariously, we lived through Lawrence.
You all got some of it. This episode is brought to you by two sponsors, Blue Apron and Mac Weldon. You can check out this week's Blue Apron menu and get your first 3 meals for free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/soup. And this is like sense around. I hear Benson clicking all around. And you can get 20% off your Mac Weldon order by going to macweldon.com and using our promo code SOUP. But you'll hear more about that in a minute. First up, this is we can either talk about extremities or
I have a quick
expletives.
I have a quick question for both Elyse and Bruce. When you think of the lovely land of New Zealand, what are the first 3 things that pop in your head?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, yeah, for sure.
Lord of the Rings.
All right. The second movie.
And then Lord of the Rings.
Right.
I think like Lord of the Rings, Kiwis, and...
honestly, I think of Taika Waititi.
Right.
Yeah, I think like...
And that kind of thing.
Hunt for the Wilder.
Frighteners.
Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dead Alive.
I'll tell you right now, you're all wrong. It's jet boat, jet skis, and bungee jumping.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The life of Lawrence Sontag.
Yeah.
Where do you go at night?
I sleep in a pod that has been shot into orbit.
Jesus
And then every morning, as the sun rises, I re-enter, crash into my apartment, and step out in a business suit and go to work.
We did things like we went and saw Hobbiton and like went on a hike and all that stuff. Meanwhile, Lawrence is jumping at a 747 on like
braving death.
He thought
every second.
You think Triple X is a documentary, and I salute you for that.
The weird thing is Lawrence
soundtrack
and his girlfriend went off and did adventure things. Well, we were doing adventurous things too, just slightly lower on the vault. We weren't at 11. We were at around an 8.5 or whatever. Like Elyse and I climbed to the top of a volcano with Blaine and Miles.
Well,
that's awesome, yeah.
Stuff like that.
Well, dormant volcano.
Except we climbed to the top of the volcano, and then there's a chopper flying overhead.
Lawrence is in the chopper.
That was me.
Every single time we tried to do something extreme, he went off and did something more extreme that crossed over our, like literally intersected with our activity. Every time.
Oh yeah, and then you guys went to the beach, and then I was like, "Fuck y'all," and went and got on jet skis and buzzed around the island.
We went hiking.
I'm pretty sure your girlfriend flipped me off at one point. like we're happy for you.
Well, so the goal was I wanted to so I have a lot of persona on Funhaus, right?
Sure.
Geeky nerd, it's all very intentional and very planned. My new persona is beach bully. I want to be the guy who like runs up, kicks over a sandcastle and says, "Get with a real man," and then I like drive away on my beachcomber. To wit, you guys were at the beach. We crossed the island to a jet ski place, which is just a totally nice dude rolls up with a trailer and 2 jet skis and he's like, "Let's go." So we were like buzzing around the island, catching air, doing tricks, and we intentionally went around the island back to the beach you guys were at. And I was hoping to be like, "What's up, losers?" and like spin a little water splash at you and then buzz away.
Yeah.
Sadly, you were gone. But
we were getting on a ferry.
Yeah, we were going back to the city to have
what
dinner.
a lovely day. I had some milk chocolate.
Yeah,
and then you hear, "Welcome to the jungle!" and it's Lawrence with the boombox.
I conceived that Lawrence had crank disease, where
it's true.
He had what Jason Statham had in the film Crank.
The documentary Crank, yes.
He couldn't stop moving, otherwise the crank disease would overcome him.
Ultimately, we would get back to the house at the end of the day because we were all sharing a place together. And then about 5 minutes after not action-packed stuff was happening, Lawrence would go, "Well, I'm going to bed."
Yeah.
Because he had to hibernate himself.
Shutting down.
Yeah.
It's like a shark.
After downing half a bottle of Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was half a bottle, wasn't it?
There was one time Stephanie was like, he's like, "Yeah, Lawrence finished a lot of that Jack." And we were like, "Were we up drinking last night?" And she's like, "Oh, no, Lawrence was doing it in bed."
Yeah.
I was like,
wow. I guess one night Jess stayed up with Bethany. They were like just chatting, having girl chat. And they were like, "Yeah, we'd really like lovely girls night." And Lawrence was there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, "What?"
That's right, Lawrence.
And he's like, "Yeah, he was making us shots and talking about something." And they're like, you probably don't remember this.
No, I absolutely remember it. I don't want to dispute the accounting of events, but I thought it was weird that I was asked to be there. I was like, "Hey, you probably don't want that." And they're like, "No, we absolutely do." So yeah,
They're drunk. Who cares?
I don't care either. It's just there were two rounds in which I said I probably shouldn't be a part of that conversation. I have nothing to add.
Well, you also made shots for them.
Yeah,
which they didn't remember until the next day.
Oh yeah, no, I did that
because Bethany was like, "Yeah, like." She's She was like, I don't know why I was so drunk. And then I think Jess reminded her.
It was just a shot. It was one round.
Yeah, no, I know.
they
But
went-
that
I was trying to
was
get rid
after
of
a night of heavy
They
drinking.
went to bed at 5 a.m.
Yeah,
Ugh.
they did.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then remember, then
God.
we went and tried. We got a couple of seafood platters.
Oh, yeah.
You and I with like
That's
Aaron
right.
and Barbara and Nadia.
Seafood platter.
And then Jess just had her head on the table.
Well,
Best-
at the time, we were also unbeknownst sharing a seafood platter with
Yeah.
Miles and Blaine.
I remember that.
Yep. There was a lot of adventure
What
happening.
platters?
The best way to cure a hangover is with a bunch of seafood.
Yeah.
Like
Jess went inside and sat on a couch.
oysters and calamari.
Anyway, it was a lovely vacation.
It was.
It was good to get away from you guys.
Wonderful memories.
Wait,
Wait a minute.
for
Oh, I
conjoined
have
at the
a-
hip.
I have a slow motion bungee jump video to share with you guys later.
Oh,
Oh,
sweet.
badass.
You guys have seen the extreme one, but there's one before that where I'm wearing a crocodile outfit and it's really cute.
Crocodile.
Yeah.
This whole trip though reminded me of a long time ago when it was all of us and Joel before Elyse. It was Inside Gaming when we went to Germany. We went to Gamescom and then I think we had like PAX the next week. We ended up hanging out for like 2.5 weeks together.
Yeah.
And I remember at the end of that trip I was like, I don't want to kill any of these guys. Joel a little bit, but not all, no, it's fine. Like we were filming and we're just doing stuff the whole time. Like, well, and I remember being like, these are good people to work with. And I felt that exact same way with the additional group that we had with us.
Oh, they were great.
Yeah, it was like, I'm like, I can hang out with these people forever. These are good people.
Except for Blaine.
Except for Blaine's the worst.
I was tired of hanging out with Blaine by the first hour.
there was one part, you may have missed it, Lawrence. Aaron was recounting Blaine when he's playing Mario Kart.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, that was so fun.
He says he sounds like a special needs friend that Aaron had in middle school who would go, yeah, all right, yeah. It was like his name was like Jerry or
So
something.
like Beavis.
And they'd be like, Jerry, go throw that trash can. Yeah, throw the trash can. It's like that's what Blaine sounds like when he has his head down playing
Blaine
video
and Miles
games.
are so funny because they'd be like, want to go to bed and play Mario Kart? Or they'd be like, remember when we
Yeah.
were in bed last night playing Mario Kart? I'm like, you guys weren't sharing beds.
Yeah, they were close.
kind
though.
of
They were right
are.
next to each other.
We crammed way too many people into this house.
Yeah.
And so but the house was prepared. It's like an Airbnb that says like can sleep 800 people, and it's just mattresses lying all over the place. And so
10 refugees.
So Adam and Jess were in a room, but that room had a closet. And in the closet were 2 mattresses lying end
Blaine
to
and
end,
Miles.
Blaine and Miles sleeping in
Playing
them.
Mario
It was
Kart.
also
they're-
a closet without a door.
Yeah, it was
So
just
they
an
were- it was-
alcove.
And I would just hear them at night, just like, woohoo, yeah, gotcha, buddy. And I was just like, go to bed.
Well, the thing
Idiots.
is, Will was sleeping on the couch, but he left, so somebody could have moved that mattress downstairs.
Oh, but
No.
they didn't.
Or
They
sleep on
didn't.
the couch, which is probably more comfortable than any of those
Oh, yeah,
mattresses.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was just kidding about Blaine. I love Blaine.
No, Blaine was
I
super
really,
fun.
I really enjoyed hanging out with Blaine.
They had many good
We went on
rounds
an
of Mario Kart.
adventure.
It was great.
We had a. I don't want to get too much into New Zealand trip, but
We're already way too into it.
Yeah. It was Will, Blaine, Elyse, and I were like, oh, there's this really cool beach and a hike. We'll meet you guys there. But we didn't have enough rental cars, so we just got in an Uber and we just started driving there. About three-fourths of the way in. Oh, what's up?
Didn't he pick you up in like a sports car too?
Well, everyone got excited because it
wasn't.
said he was coming in a Skyline, but
Yeah.
it was like a 2015 Skyline,
wasn't a
which
GTR.
is just a
It was not a
yeah, was
GTR.
just a
Okay.
sedan.
Was it a
And
Ford?
I got
so,
excited
Yeah.
so we were about 3/4 of the way out there, pretty deep into this jungle-y thing, and we were like, no cell phone reception. I'm not sure how we're gonna get back. And we were like, do you think there's gonna be any other Ubers out there? And the guy was like, no. Like, interesting. How are we gonna get out there? By the time we got to the spot where we were gonna hike, the guy was like, well, I made a ton of money on this one Uber trip. And it was a lot easier than doing small trips and waiting around. He's like, if you want, you guys can like give me a call, and then depending on how long you are, maybe I can give you a ride back too.
It's awesome.
Super cool, but coolest Uber driver of all time. And so we went hiking, and then it was a loop. But halfway through the loop, we saw that there was an arrow and it said waterfall, and we were like, So we called the Uber driver and told him where on our downloaded Google Maps the waterfall was, and he's like, sure, I'll pick you up over there. So then we just hiked through the jungle to the waterfall, and then he was there on the other side.
That's
and
awesome.
it was pretty cool. We had like not a personal driver, but we had this super cool the coolest Uber driver in the world who would take us anywhere.
He took a picture of us at the waterfall.
He took a picture, and then on the way home, we were really hungry, and he stopped at McDonald's for us. He just like waited in the parking lot while we went in and got McDonald's. He was the coolest
Amazing.
Uber driver of all
That's
time.
Amazing.
It's fun.
What a
It's fun
friend.
stuff.
He was great. Whatever his name was, couldn't pronounce it.
Yeah, hey, we asked him to
Tried.
pronounce it like 4 or 5 times, couldn't get it any time.
But
and
you
he's
know,
like, it's
he was
fine.
fine with it.
You were now Bill.
He was cool. Yeah, that's everything New Zealand.
Josh got a root canal.
Oh, yeah.
Was that a
There.
root canal? He was in terrible pain at Hobbiton.
That was fun.
Yeah.
While you guys were on vacation?
While
Yeah.
we were on
He
vacation.
went to the emergency room.
Yep.
They went to the doctor like one night, and they're like, "Yeah, we can't really help you." And then the next day, he had a dentist appointment, and
Yep.
they gave him a root canal at like noon.
On the spot, yeah. it's
Yeah,
pretty
11
cool.
Little Roosters post production never sleeps.
Yeah. And by the way, American healthcare, if you're listening, you're not. It cost him like $300.
Oh, wow.
$300, and he did it like that.
Man.
Yeah, but taxes.
Yeah.
What's that?
Well,
I don't understand.
I don't want anyone feeling better off of my money,
I just
even
think,
if it's me.
I think they probably just didn't charge him $800 for a test tube.
Yeah, well, from the sounds of it, he was getting jerked around by his dentist too, because he had the pain for a while and he'd been going to his dentist
Yeah.
at home, and for some reason the dentist was just like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then one day in New Zealand, like, yeah, that shit is infected.
Yeah.
And they cracked it open and it was just like pus. And they're like,
He
oh,
said it
fuck.
smelled like
Bruce.
death.
Bruce, not a dentist, by the way, went based on the pain and the location. There's probably an infection.
Well, the reason, I mean, like, it was because Josh had said, yeah, like, my dentist has looked at it twice. He's not helped it twice because every time I go, he like files something down and then I leave and have pain. And usually with an infection, the way an infection works is if you have a cut or something like that and it gets infected, it gets worse and worse and worse.
Of course.
And it's one of those things that I have, even I do it still, which is ignore pain. And you ignore
cats
pain, ignore
do.
pain, ignore pain until you can't ignore it anymore. And when you do that, you're getting more and more infected. So if you notice that something is getting worse, usually it's over 2 or 3 days time. If it's worse by the third day, go to the fucking doctor.
Yeah, you're
It
supposed to
doesn't,
heal.
doesn't help when your dentist in Austin or
Yeah.
whatever is like, "You're fine.
You're good.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Well, I gotta hit the links.
No, that's
I'm
the-
out of here.
That's something else I've discovered about the nature of pain is that if you get relief from pain, you feel it. Like
Yeah.
immediately you know it's like there's a cap on it and it's not getting worse. And you feel like from there it's only going to get better. I've had situations where I have infections that doctor haven't caught. And there's a nature to the pain, like you can feel it. It's like fiery and it's like burning through your neural passageways, kind of.
Yeah.
You feel it traveling along your nerve endings and things like that. And yeah, Josh was definitely describing that. It's just so frustrating because, yeah, I just think that I guess the dentist didn't want to do a root canal. I don't know what the deal is.
Who knows?
The thing that I think is easy to forget is that doctors, dentists, they're all human too, and they're subject to the same
Yeah.
errors of like thinking that human beings are. They're supposed to be trained out of that, but sometimes it still happens. But you shouldn't commit an error in your thinking by not signing up for Blue Apron.
Oh, there we go.
It's good.
Man, I mean, along lines of talking about traveling anecdotes, I had to spend a week and a half without Blue Apron, and it hurt. It hurt so bad. Mostly because it's just I learned that if I take myself out of routine, I have no idea when to eat anymore. Because I'm trying to learn how to eat healthy.
You're like a baby.
Kind of, yeah. Well, I've learned that if I
child.
eat when I feel like it, I just put on weight like crazy because I don't know how to monitor myself. Really, I am a baby, really. But Blue Apron helps with that because everything's pre-portioned. So I just go home, I'd make the thing they told me to eat, and then I'd eat it like a little baby boy, and then somebody from Blue Apron comes home and tucks me into bed and sings me a song, and I go right to sleep. And I had to live a week and a half without that.
Ugh,
What?
terrible.
Yeah, just terrible,
eat.
just awful. So even though Sydney was beautiful, Blue Apron, it hurt being away from you. So I can look forward to cumin-crusted pork with fig and blood orange pan sauce, and crispy barramundi with melted leek and roasted vegetables now. And if that sounds delicious to you, you should check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals for free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/soup. Once more, that's blueapron.com/soup. Thank you for your sponsorship, Blue Apron.
Yeah, forget Black History Month. Let's celebrate Lon
Yeah.
Sontag.
Well, I mean, we can do both by discussing the Madden Bowl.
What happened? I don't know.
Okay, so
I'm really excited.
it's not necessarily what happened, but who won and what they did.
Uh-oh.
So
Real quick, what is the Madden Bowl?
Sure. So the Madden Bowl, it's like EA's foray into esports. They put up a prize pool. They put on a whole thing about it.
How many millions of dollars do you get for winning this?
Not even
It's
the
a
prize pool was 250,000.
250,000.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
pretty
a lot
good.
of money.
Damn.
So
That's-
here's
I was kind of joking.
Split across the top 3 or top 4.
yeah,
That's
it's
pretty good, though.
That's a shitload of money. Yeah.
so let's see here. Chris Dubby McFarland. I'll go ahead and spoil it for you. He won the Madden Bowl. And
Spoiler.
So this information is via Polygon, by the way. Defeated Eric Problem Right 24-17 in the Madden Bowl, which are held in Houston on February 3rd. McFarland's first place share of the tournament's $250,000 grand prize was $75,000.
It's a lot of
Damn.
money.
However, he was fined $3,000 of that because He's a very colorful man. Uses very colorful language.
Well, he's not so colorful.
Yeah, it's just the
He's
one
almost
color.
lacking of color.
Yeah.
So he
He's the one on the left.
No, it's a
W.
problem.
No,
Oh,
W.
oh, W.
W on the
Oh,
left, yeah.
no.
So he while he was playing, people started poking through his Twitter feed. And they found a lot of unsavory uses of words that probably shouldn't be said.
Ooh.
Trying to think of how tastefully I should talk around these things.
Oh, boy.
So to be fair, these date back to like 2011, 2013. So this stuff
He was really young.
it's out there.
That's not
but-
an excuse, but he was really
He's
young.
27.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he was old enough to know better. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like it's not like he won and then went right to Twitter to unleash a storm of terrible things. It's more like he's just said that shit over time. There's yo real talk, suck my N-word to dick. We'll just say Nathan. How about that?
Nathan's a good
But he's white.
substitution.
But he's white.
He is. Yeah.
He is not Nathan. His name is not Nathan.
He's not Nathan. Okay.
No,
So you shouldn't
Nathan
say
is
Nathan.
replacing another word.
Yeah, no, I'm aware.
A word that
Yeah.
we cannot say.
No,
Well, that's what
aware.
I'm saying.
Ever.
None of us up here are Nathans.
Right.
So we shouldn't use the name Nathan.
We cannot use the word Nathan in casual talk.
Yeah.
No. You can't because you're
not
not
yours.
Nathan.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
See.
And especially in this month because it's my birthday next week.
Yeah. We should all celebrate Adam's birthday
Thank
and be
you.
respectful to Nathan.
I'm 30 something.
I mean the headline one here. This is in
love.
2013. This is just a reply to somebody.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy, I don't know.
Try.
Just
Do
put
it.
Nathan in there.
Oh my god, you humming and humming this whole podcast.
So
I'll
it's-
read them.
Yeah.
Is there an F word in there too? That we
No,
need
it's a C. I mean that's an animal, right?
C.
Raccoon.
Oh.
Yeah.
C.
Yeah,
Sure you could say that.
yeah, but we are not raccoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one, honestly,
How
should
about
So-
that one could be cat.
call anyone a
Or
The
raccoon.
thing
Candy.
is, he's
Candy.
good at it. Like he's
Candy.
good at shit talking. So there's the you cat Nathan Porch Monkey. I'm like, okay, that's a pretty good.
Yeah, you just said that.
That's a
Thought
pretty
that
good
one was
insult.
okay.
Wait, you cat Nathan.
Not cat.
Porch.
Just let
Porch
just let
Monkey
Lawrence do it.
is never mind.
Okay.
You don't want the audio of you out there.
Yeah,
Bruce.
If
you're
you really
right.
want to, you can go back and find them yourself. Some of them have been deleted, I think. But so the rest of the story is EA deducted $3,000 of his prize winnings and 100 Madden NFL Championship Series points from his profile, which is pretty significant. Polygon found that the
so-
highest ranked player had 1,000 points.
It's so Black Mirror.
Well,
I love
wasn't it
cool.
that he won, right? And then there was like a bunch of people were like, look at all this stuff on his account, but they didn't do anything until after he had won. He tweeted something else. I thought he tweeted something else aggressive after winning.
Yeah, after
winning?
After winning,
after
and then
he
that's when they stepped in and they were like, "Whoa, you're the champion. You can't do that." So, we're
So
gonna
I
find
didn't
you."
look through his entire feed, but he's really good at shit talking. And I
so-
really like this particular tweet. After he won, he tweeted, "Y'all searching through 75,000 tweets. I'm gonna search through $75,000. Tell me how my ass tastes. Hashtag need it."
Wow.
Okay, well, that one's clean at least.
He thinks
So
he's an
people were coming at
athlete.
him because they're like, "Oh, you said all this shit in the past." And he's like, "I don't give a fuck. I got money." So I'm like, "All right, I like that." Also,
I guess.
Tell me how my ass
I mean, you
tastes.
can live
really
off
the
that
right attitude to
forever.
have.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, then the fines came down, and like EA basically had a very stern conversation with him, and then his tone completely changed. Another tweet, presumably after the education had occurred, quote: "When I'd won the Madden Bowl, my tweets were no longer just for the culture with a capital C; they were for everyone. I understand that better now."
Oh.
And then he issued a statement. A lot of what I said was out of passion and emotion at the time. I understand everything that I did. I understand everything that I did wrong and accept responsibility for my words. He goes on. Honestly, the fine just shows how much this game is growing. It's not just for the small group of pro Madden players. It's for the entire country. We as players need to understand that we not only represent ourselves, but the growth of the game. He is holding us more responsible for our actions. EA holding us more responsible for our actions is a reflection on how big they want Madden to grow. At the end of the day, that's all we want. I've accepted the consequences and plan on representing both myself and the game of Madden positively. And then later he tweeted, "Today is the day the real Dubby dies. Feel free to unfollow."
Wow. And then he said, "You candy Nathan pasta marinara."
Oh, she's pretty much buttoned all that up. And interestingly, in reply to that tweet, Sabrina James, just a person, sounded so dismissive. I'm sorry. Wrote, "I don't see why you can't still be you with a PG-13 filter. My 5th grader is a huge fan and follower. BU champion, and then a little photo.
Oh, that was wow.
With
The
a,
5th grader's been reading all those tweets.
I know.
He's like, F
Oh
off, Nathan.
boy.
I mean, that's the first reply, and I think it puts it all
Mom,
in
you're
context.
Nathan.
What's
I love
fascinating
the
to
Nathan
me
out of
is,
you.
I recall in the mid to late 90s when sports athletes started getting more extreme personalities, there was a whole conversation about whether or not public figures had the responsibility to
Yeah.
be a role model.
I remember that.
And I don't recall specifically who it was at the time. They were basically like, I'm not a role model.
Might have been,
I never asked to be.
Was it Deion Sanders? Might have been Deion Sanders.
Maybe.
Or like somebody like that. Because he was really outspoken then and he was really loud. And I mean, like he would talk shit, but it was nothing like that. I mean, like it was, and it's, it's because he didn't have the safety of the internet.
I always
He
wondered.
was a human.
I always wonder when that would happen with esports, when there would be like the bad boy of CS:GO or something like that. But it's always funny watching Dota and you see like the Chinese robots get up there, play the game, and then go home to like their pods. And it's just like, there's no personality in this game. They're really good, they're amazing, but it's just sort of like, I do my Adderall, I play the game, and I leave.
Well,
like,
that's by design to a degree.
Lawrence?
Yep.
Just so you know, the stream computer just rebooted. So the stream is not live anymore.
Are we recording though?
Yes.
Okay.
That's good.
Well, this will be a bit of a lull then.
Yeah, tobacco in it.
Let me see if I can tweet
It was
it out.
Benson. He kicked out a wire.
Yeah, where the fuck is Benson?
He's in the room. Yeah.
God, that dog controls my life.
Well, here's my thing. It's interesting because I do feel like people should be able to say, kind of like, be whoever they want to be, you know, and not feel like they have to necessarily censor themselves. But like all things, I feel like you also have to accept the responsibilities. Like we talk about, people confuse freedom of speech with freedom of persecution for your speech.
Oh,
Right?
right.
Like, and so if you want to say all those things, you should be allowed to. But the company that has a financial stake in acquiring a certain audience and maintaining that certain audience has the freedom to fine you for it. Now, no police are going to come and knock down his door and take him to jail for saying those things. But it's up to the rest of his followers and 5th graders and everything, stuff like that, like to determine whether or not they want that to be the person that they look up to. When it comes to sports athletes, it's a little bit more complex, but to me, it's not a solution, but it would seem like you just have the teams or the NFL or the organization itself decide what they want their brand guidelines to be. And then you just have some players sign some paperwork that says as long as they participate in this organization, these are the brand guidelines they should adhere to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they will experience
There
fines.
must have been something like that in place. The fact that he got fined.
I'm sure there was something in the contract that says like, by participating in this tournament, you agree to the terms of whatever, you know.
Be family friendly or whatever.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
EA is typically pretty family friendly.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they make violent video games or whatever, but it's one of those things where like
no one reads the contract.
as a company, you gotta. It's funny. EA is allowed to make what they want to make.
Yeah.
Because, like you just said, James, they're willing to accept the consequences of making a violent video game or, something with nudity or whatever. But if they're going to endorse somebody else, then that person also has to adhere to EA's guidelines.
Yeah.
So EA could say, you can't say a word. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to say, you cannot say anything about this tournament. They never would do this, but if they made him sign a contract, we'll give you $250,000, but you can't say a word. Then if he says a word, he's voided the contract. So it's all about kind of what you signed and what you've agreed to be a part of something larger.
Yeah. I also think that like sometimes there's a difference between saying something and then like targeting and like just glancing at his tweets. A lot of them were like aggressively saying something at another player, like or something like that. And those are way more dangerous to me than just speaking out.
Yeah.
Just saying it for saying its sake. I don't know.
I would something very similar happened in the fighting game community. Like
Daigo do
2011,
this
2012. Daigo's never been the problem.
Daigo doesn't talk.
Yeah, he's a stone-faced Japanese robot.
Love those guys.
But the fighting game community has always been very colorful, and a lot of people interpret that to mean like sexist or racist, which is absolutely not true. They just use very harsh words, and it's always been actually considered part of the mind game of a fighting game. If you can tilt somebody with words before you fight them, you're already ahead, and that's part of the game.
What kind of words?
Anything like insult their game, insult their parents, insult their fight stick, insult everything.
There's a fighting game guy called Low Tier God. who's like known for like talking trash and stuff, except then he gets his ass kicked.
Oh, wow.
And there's great compilation videos of
Yeah.
him losing in fights after having talked some like really mad trash.
It's fun. I've seen those come up on like Cringe and live stream
yeah.
fails and stuff like that, where it's
Did you see that one dude crying after losing a money match? That's the famous one.
no.
Okay.
I saw a guy like rip
lost.
All right, we're
another
back.
dude's.
Winners don't cry, but
I saw one where a dude ripped another guy's controller out, his GameCube controller. Mind you, this is like 2013, but they're playing Smash Brothers or whatever, and he's like, no, and he throws it, and it's just like, what a fucking baby.
Yeah.
And they just start yelling at each other. It's like, you're playing a game where Nintendo mascots are punching each other off a
Star
platform.
Fox is just waiting to punch something.
Here we go. So hold on, I'll put this on in the background for a sec. But there was a conversation in the fighting game community, and it was a very conscious conversation of like, do we trade away what we perceive to be our culture for the sake of being market friendly? Like, do we? Here, I'll turn up the volume on this too, because the commentary is hilarious.
Are you crying?
Yes,
What's your name?
my name is Brian.
Oh, your name is Brian?
Yeah.
And why are you
He
crying?
looks like he likes games
I
done
just
quick.
lost $90.
You lost how much?
Money?
Yes.
Why would you money match Noel Brown?
Because I wanted to play good players.
Did you think you was good?
No, I
Huh?
just wanted to play.
So you knew you were ass.
Yes,
And
I
you-
am very ass. I live in
But
Columbus.
you lost.
I live in Columbus.
What-
Everyone in Columbus is free.
So you live with
I
bum
live in
ass Andre.
Columbus?
What?
You live in this area with bum ass
I
Andre.
wanted to play him, but he was busy.
Stop crying, man. That's not real nigga shit.
I'm not a real nigga.
Oh, no, he's crying again.
Yeah,
He's
they're,
crying more.
they're compounding it. He wasn't prepared for this.
I wanted to money match people so I could get them to take
I lost a
it
karate
seriously
match when I was a
because
kid, and I
money
cried
was
in the car on the ride home. But I didn't cry in front of the camera.
So
How old were you?
It's like 28, 29.
So that in particular, just to explain the context of it, it's a bit of rite of passage. Like, you can learn fighting games in your crew, and you can be best on your block. But to get better, you have to go out and play in tournaments.
Of course.
Except you won't get seeded, and you'll just lose over and over again. So you have to play against better players and get your ass beat a lot. And the only way to get them to play you is to give them money.
Got it.
So you say, I want to money match you $50, and then you get a 20-minute match with a good player, and you can hopefully learn a lot. He did that, got his ass beat, wasn't prepared for the ass beating he received, and came out on the other side.
And
like
you have
that.
to pay for said ass beating.
Well, sort of. It's a money match. So you
Right.
say, like, if
It's
you're a
just
scrub
taking
and you
place
roll
in
up, and,
the lobby of a residence inn.
yeah,
though.
usually there's a
Okay.
ballroom they have set aside for warm ups and things like
Yeah.
that, and you just roll in there. You can challenge anyone. It's like there's a world class poker player. He's not going to play you for free.
Yeah.
because it's a waste of his time. He's
I'd
going
rather
to
go to a pet
But if-
expo or something.
Yeah, if you want to get your ass beat and try to learn from it, then you put up $10 on a match, and then they'll do it.
Go ahead, Elyse.
So there was
Say it. Say it.
there was
say it.
But he didn't want to learn anything, Lawrence. He put that 90 up because he thought he had a chance, and he was crying like a bitch because
Well,
his 90 got lost.
I'm sure they all think Lawrence has
near
a
the
very,
end of it. Near
a
the
very
end of it, they say,
clear
you got
view.
fucked, man. It's the way of the world.
Yeah,
He was trying to learn nothing.
yeah. Lawrence has a very clear view of it, of where it's like this is what.
just saying that's
this
why
is-
it happens.
Yeah, this is why it happens. The problem is no one puts down $90 thinking I'm going to lose $90, but I'll learn something about how Star Fox counters whatever Falco in the dash cancels and stuff like that. Like no one ever thinks that, even though that's what they're gaining from it.
Right.
But yeah, the interesting thing about that is I can only imagine that same as Dubby, same as Dubby and same as the
Problem.
people filming that crying guy, is that if that dude came back next weekend, they'd be like, "Hey man, what's up?" Like
Yeah.
I don't think they would be like, "Get out of here, you
I
crying
mean,
little bitch."
Yeah.
Like,
They might do that, but
they would
he'd have to
joke-
keep showing up.
Well,
Like,
no,
I
they would
just-
And if he proved himself, he'd be accepted.
they'd give him shit for a little bit,
Yeah.
but then
yeah,
afterwards,
but then it'd be like, "Oh yeah, yeah."
oh, you're that crying dude. Ha ha, hey, crying man. And like,
you got to live it. You got to own up to it.
But
Yeah, it's one of
that's
those
that's
Can we-
schoolyard shit for
What's up, Elyse?
1,000 years.
Can we film something undercover, or we give Lawrence like
Oh, no.
$150 to go to these things
things. Just
a
get
great
my
idea.
ass beat.
and then weep?
So
weep.
the thing that's demoralizing about
What if
it
he
and why I
wins?
speculate he's crying is the pros know it's a money match too. So it's not in their interest to teach you; it's their interest to take your money.
right, yeah.
So I think he went into a money match thinking he was going to get taught a lesson by a benevolent teacher, and he just got fucked. And he was like, "I didn't learn shit. I just got my ass handed to me. I thought I might be able to put up a little fight. No, I got stomped and I lost $90. And I drove all the way here and I'm out gas money. Like it just all boom.
Columbus,
crashed
he
on
came from Columbus.
I don't know where that match took place though.
Oh yeah.
Probably
I don't
somewhere
know,
far
any
away
number
from
of fighting
Columbus.
games. But that's indicative of like pre-esports fighting game culture. And there was even a tournament in like 2012 where the tournament was over. The winner got up and he pointed at a dude and said, "Get up here." And so they did like an exhibition match, and he won. And he got up again and said, I'm taking you." And then like 3 matches later, he knocked all these guys down just to prove he was the champ. That would never happen in like a League of Legends match, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
The Korean team wouldn't get up and point at the Americans and say, "Get on stage, let's play."
You think Daigo takes money matches?
I think he just takes
Should
money.
try and find out.
He
We
has
should
a little
find
hat.
out and have
might.
Lawrence
I mean-
challenge Daigo.
Oh, fuck.
Put a couple dollars.
I would love
in
to
there.
see that.
No.
Lawrence,
That'd
I'll
be
put up
awesome.
some money for that.
I'll do 1 round.
Just have me play like the hardest.
I'll put up $100 for that.
Do you think if they
man.
do you think we give them
Cool,
if we don't pay him double but we pay him half, we can do 2?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say we should definitely have James.
I
like-
can get my ass kicked and then Lawrence
We
can
buy
get
I don't know
mine.
who's-
Daigo
I don't know
lunch.
who's better between you two.
We're both terrible.
Okay, well, yeah, either way. So I was gonna say I'll put up $100 for
It wouldn't even be
one or
sporting,
both
man.
of these matches.
I know, that's what's funny about it.
I'm talking about like that's essentially like me boxing against Mike Tyson.
Right.
He would beat my ass.
Except-
it wouldn't even be fun
how
to
much do you
watch.
think
I mean, it
that'll
might
cost?
be fun to watch.
Yeah, you fight Mike Tyson. He'd probably give you a little bit of brain damage.
Yeah, a little bit.
You can talk
So-
like him.
So we're trying to
that
tie
kid got
this,
brain damaged.
We're trying to tie this back to the fact that the guy Dubby was basically saying that like, sorry, I was really subscribed to the culture
Exactly.
of the gaming aspect, not thinking about how it had transcended beyond me to something professional, right?
Yeah, and more or less the shoestrings that money entails.
Still though, man, you can choose so many other words to use,
I was
so
gonna
many
say-
other ways to talk shit than by stomping all over specific racial groups and
Well, this is something we've always known, though, like the culture of, I guess, presumably this game, but more accurately, Xbox and like Xbox Live and things like that. That is the culture. Like that is what kids will do. That is what everybody does. Is scream the N-word at the top of their lungs over their headset because nobody has to worry about whether or not somebody will fucking punch them in the face.
Although I
This-
gotta admit, maybe this is a subculture, but having played recent Call of Duties and Overwatch on Xbox, it's not really like that anymore. I don't play in professional circles.
I would
but-
say part of the reason is because all devices now have capture things. I think there used to be it used to be like Snapchat,
Yeah,
right?
that's
You can
true.
say something to someone anonymously online, right?
And that shit doesn't fucking matter because people always post pictures
Yeah.
of Bruce's snaps and they're like, "Look what Bruce snapped."
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
Worst thing.
What's the point?
Yeah, worst thing that can happen is that like someone just tells a story at school the next day about what they got called
Right.
on Call of Duty that night.
Even then, even
now,
well, even then,
now all
though,
you have to do is if you have an Xbox One, after it happens, all you have to do is hit a button and it's like rewind, record, and then it's captured. So it's like I wonder if that has influenced. There's more accountability, and you have your username right there, and then that can
Probably.
get flagged.
Well, it's sort of like that Twilight Zone episode with the kid where if you have any bad thought, he sends you to the cornfield.
Oh yeah.
We've created our own Big Brother where we're all policing each other now.
Yeah.
And I would hope that would make people behave better. But it's funny when people will like yell the horrible things at us. And it's like, there's going to be a record of this.
Yeah.
There was a kid tweeting me. He said something mean. I'm like, I'm looking at this kid's profile. And I don't know if he had actually blown someone, but all the pictures were him with like cum in his mouth. And I was like, that might be frosting. I don't know. But this kid's posting pictures like, just blew my best friend Paul. And I was like,
Well, maybe he's proud of it.
I guess. I'm like, sure, man. But like, I guarantee you
Paul
right
and
now,
cum on his chin.
any job interview you go to these days, people immediately look at your Facebook, your Twitter,
Oh,
and almost your resume could almost go fuck itself at this
TSA
point.
is checking your IMDb.
Oh, that was the greatest thing.
Border controls are collecting your pins.
You heard
and
about that? What
passwords
happened
and
with
shit.
Aaron, right?
Yeah, that was amazing.
Aaron got to New
Is that a true
Zealand.
story?
He got detained.
Yeah.
There was
And-
weed residue on his bag.
And then he went into layer THC or whatever they said.
Yeah.
But he
Which
he
knowing-
was pretty like even after the fact he was pretty upfront. He's like, I have no idea.
Yeah,
Like,
knowing Aaron, like his brother Lynn probably got some he was trying to put some bomb making fluid on his bags. He's like, oh, this will get Aaron so good.
Well, the best
That would've
part,
gotten him
though.
good.
it was just more that he went through these layers of interrogation
Yeah.
until he ended up in a room with like a metal desk. On the other side of it was the TSA officer. He's like,
Well,
listen,
TSA for New Zealand.
yeah, he's like, listen, I don't want to do this, but like, he's like, you can Google me.
Yeah.
Like you can Google me to see who I am. Like if that's the question of my identity or whatever, you can see who I am. Problem is that Aaron's IMDb says that he is 43 years old.
It's totally
so
wrong.
they Googled him and they were like, well, according to your passport, you're
They're like, "Mr.
29 or
Marquis,
30,
your passport
and
says you're
yeah,
30."
Oh, it's totally
and,
wrong.
Yeah, IMDb says you're 43, and you went.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he had no response to that.
He just said, "You got me."
Yeah. Take me in.
Speaking of pictures that'll be on the internet forever, we are also sponsored by Mack Weldon,
Oh.
who make the finest, form-fitting, comfortable underwear you've ever worn in your life. But they also offer, James is yanking them up right now.
I think
for
I'm
all to
wearing
see.
mine too. I am.
Oh, wow.
Sweet.
Look at that. We are basically owned, lock, stock. Thank you, Mack Weldon, for outfitting us, cladding our genitalia in the finest cloth. But today I want to talk about something else, because they also offer shirts and socks.
The shirts are awesome.
Yeah, they are. But I've also switched over to their socks,
Oh,
which are delightful, let me tell you. So like most nerds / most men, I basically find one thing that works early in life and have stuck with it ever since, never feeling the need to question it. As a result, I've worn like cut off socks. Basically, I just buy a discount bag and then empty it into a drawer. And then once the holes start wearing through, I throw them all out and buy another bag.
Yeah.
I have been refining my tastes.
Wow.
And as such, have worn actual socks, and it's a world of difference. It's like wearing slippers everywhere I go. It's so comfortable, so comfortable and breezy. I feel like a new man, all because of these socks. That's no overstatement, Bruce. Stop laughing.
I bought a pair of they have sweat shorts.
Oh yeah,
They're like sweatpants,
I was
but
so
they cut
envious
off
of
at the
those.
Really
knees.
nice.
But they still have like zippers and stuff, and they look like you can go out of the house with them, right? And it doesn't look like you're wearing sweatpants, but your comfort level is that of one wearing sweatpants.
That sounds
But
awesome.
It's also the kind of thing where now, like Mr. Rogers, I go home and then I just take my pants off and I put
Shorts
those
on?
back
Yeah,
on.
absolutely.
That's my
House
home
pants.
pants.
Absolutely.
It's great.
Well, if you'd like to get a pair of home pants or delightful breezy socks, you can get 20% off your order by going to MackWeldon.com and using our promo code SOUP. Once more, that's MackWeldon.com. Use promo code SOUP for 20% off your entire order. And if you don't like your first pair or set of clothes, you can keep it and they will still refund you, no questions asked. So check it out. Once more, that's MackWeldon.com and use our promo code SOUP for 20% off your entire order. Thanks, you, Mack Weldon. I guess, okay. Real briefly, I'm going to pass a summary question around. When it comes to game culture, would you rather it stay like really salty and edgy, or are you happy that players who want to make a living off of it are now getting like increased money flow? Would you rather it be brand safe and have people who really want to make a living off that be able to, or do you want to keep it like salty, real, basement type stuff?
Oh, I mean, like I'd rather it be real, but I understand the need for brand safeness. But like I kind of want people to be who they are. So, apart from using the terrible, terrible words that people use, I like the trash talk. I like watching that kind of stuff. I think it makes it more fun. That still happens in professional sports all the time. And that's one of the things that I think in the NFL and other sports, if you ever get to watch those documentaries, or like sometimes they'll mic coaches and players for the games, and then they'll show those on just television shows or whatever, and it's just a constant stream of shit talking, and I like the way that is, where like video games feel more personal and more real to me, because it's just two dudes shouting at each other as they're playing a game. I like that. I hope it doesn't turn into a family friendly thing, unless it's broadcast for family friendly. Then it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Because then you'll still have the culture there to play the games, right? Everybody's screaming at each other, but they're not actually showing everyone using the Nathan word.
So basically, in your opinion, competitors need to develop a like stage brand safe persona they can put on when they need to.
I think so, yeah. Because
Okay.
that's kind of what's happened in professional sports. Like
Yeah.
the people, like LeBron James is doing commercial after commercial, but I can guarantee when he's on the court, he's talking shit to every other athlete, because that's the way it works. That's how you play those games.
Adam? Yeah. It's okay to have no opinion.
Well, no, like I think the trash talking and the getting overly excited and yelling at people is almost embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like I've seen it at professional matches where dudes will play Halo, and there'll be guys just kind of playing, and there's one dude being like, "Fuck yeah,
yeah,
fuck," and it's like, settle down, dude. It's like it's something I really like about MMA. A lot of times the fighters seem to have a mutual respect for each other, and they'll do that thing where they'll pretend to get up in each other's faces and they'll hug. I'm like, I love that. That's the stuff I love, because it's like, look, hey, we're all here to have a good time. Someone's gonna lose in the end, but if we can all mutually respect each other, I'm down for that.
But there's a whole other side to that. There's where people get up and are like about ready to punch each other out the way in.
Yeah, I hate that.
And well, I mean, that's the kind of shit that everybody loves and watches.
I know. I
And
think
it builds the rivalries that much bigger.
Yeah.
So like that, I feel like that. So I don't want that to go away. I think that's fun. It's fun to watch.
Elyse?
I don't like trash talk. Also, like
I hate it.
The only like trash talk I like is like professional wrestling, where it's very scripted, it's very lame, and it's like it's not at all.
It's like performance art.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't like when you're like kind of watching there's like a soccer game and you see one guy go up and say something to the other guy on a field, and you think, well, maybe he's telling him to like go fuck himself, or maybe he's just like saying a little cheeky joke to him.
Fuck
Like
your wife.
yeah, fucked your wife last
No
night.
joke.
Cut. I like when it's more like fun and so personally, sometimes I think a lot of like trash talk is lame too. The real stuff, not just the wrestling. But I don't know. I like it's douchey to me. Like
Okay.
I don't know. Like what's problem? What did Problem say? Did Problem say anything about this?
He lost. Who cares?
No. See.
I
I
mean,
mean,
like,
I don't know. I didn't look into it that hard.
and then I'm not talking about like W's. I don't think that's trash talk because again, you're resorting to like terrible words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's something to be said for clever trash talk. And like that's what that's what I'm saying is one of my favorite things to see is one dude who gets up there and is super zen about it, and he just stands there as the other guy screams trash talk at him, because then when the zen guy beats him, it makes it that much more
Yeah,
exciting and more fun.
It's beautiful.
Because don't get me wrong, I hate trash talk, and I will never trash talk anybody. I don't like because I don't want to talk back to me, but it's fun to watch.
Well, it's like during the Overwatch with Achievement Hunter when one of the Cloud9 guys was like trash talking.
And I was like, no, stop, no. I was like, don't trash talk for my gear tag. I would never do that.
In that same note, though, like you ever play an Overwatch match and it gets really close, and there's some other douchebag on the team goes GG easy. You're
Yeah.
like, fuck you, that was
It was
hard.
a good match. Yeah.
Yeah, I stomped your shit in 32 times, and someone better on your team helped get a push because you got an alt stack, and he's like, GG easy. He's like, go fuck a dick.
Hey, he's trash talking right now.
Yeah. There you go.
Are
See?
you gonna take that?
Well, I just mute.
Yeah.
No, we're
I,
on the same team.
Oh.
yeah, I just
okay.
mute chat these days. I just go, whatever. I'm gonna
Yeah.
play Genji. You're gonna deal with it.
James, how do you weigh in on it?
I think that sports, and I'm including video games, and endeavors of strength or skill inspire aggression. I think those two things go hand in hand. It's almost impossible to have a clear head and play football.
Yeah.
And I agree, it's almost probably impossible to have a clear head and play a football game. Like it's tied together. It is war, right? And so I think as long as we are these types of human beings, there will always be that aggression there. So to deny it seems silly. That being said, like Adam, I have way more admiration for those that can see it as the evolved entertainment thing that it is, and treats it like we are just here to see who is best, right? And so I like Adam. I know, like Bruce
I
said,
like me
people
too.
get really excited about they're like, oh, they're going to hit each other, or a fight broke out during the weigh-ins,
Yeah.
for the UFC. To me, it is. I always love it more when, like Adam said, they do this thing and they look really serious, but then they're like, I'm just fucking with you or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they have a great match.
We're both gonna make
And
money
then,
off of this.
They have a great match. They both make a ton of money off of it,
Mhm.
and then they move on with their lives. And they're like, oh, now we know,
Well, then also it's like it sucks when you watch a UFC match and it's over in 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like you want to see a good long fight. That's what you're paying for. I don't know. And it's the best when two dudes kick the shit out of each other, and at the very end they go, "Hey man, that was a good fight. That was a good fight. Cool. Have fun, fucking my wife tonight." Because that's
There's
what
a
they do.
It's just it's the kind of thing, like all
cuck
things, where
trophy.
you can say whatever you want to, but then ultimately you have to figure out what that is worth in whatever currency is valuable to you. So like if you don't care about being respected as a human being and only care about the fact that in 2017 you won the Madden esports whatever, then trash talk all you want to. But if you want to be admired in some sort of other greater capacity, maybe not greater, but a different capacity, then maybe you should try and be an upstanding human being when you win the Madden thing, and then you may have a greater legacy. I don't know.
Well, there are a lot of athletes and competitors, like you just said, James, that do not give a shit about how they are viewed
Conor
by
McGregor.
anyone else.
Yeah.
And to me, I've never understood that. I don't get it, because I'm always like, well, aren't you thinking about like 10 years from now? And they're not. They don't care.
Yeah.
And I guess what I'm saying is there's a best of all worlds, and the best of all worlds is you get that one dude who doesn't give a shit, who's super like just trash talking, saying the worst possible shit, and there's the other guy who's the Zen guy, who's like he's up there to win, and he's going to beat him with his actions, not his words. And when that guy wins, that's the best catharsis in the world.
Right, yeah.
But the one that was just trash talking the entire time and then gets his ass beat.
Yeah.
That for me, that's why like I hate watching the Patriots win. When I see the Patriots in the Super Bowl, I'm like, oh great, here we go. The loudest mouths in the U.S. are going to tell me about how good their team is for the sixth fucking time. Right. And it's one of those things where like the Patriots are an amazing team, but I don't ever want them to like have the bragging rights because they're going to use them.
Yeah.
But when you get a team like, I don't know, like the Green Bay Packers or whatever, when they won the Super Bowl, they don't go out and brag. They go out, yeah, we won. That was a great game.
They're just happy to have a warm fire.
Yeah, that was a great time. You know what? We were the champions this year. I'm really proud of it. But they don't go out and like talk shit to everybody else.
I view a lot of things like through the lens of a video game. It's taught me that way, like exercise and stuff like that. So a lot of times I'll judge people on one of those graphs that shows you the strengths and weaknesses, and like it goes red when it points to this other thing, but all the characters only have like 10 attribute points with which to distribute amongst charisma and strength and agility and stuff like that. And there are some people that have 0 in humanity, but fucking 10 in basketball. And they're going to be great and they're going to be assholes. But that's all they get. I would always rather be a circle, like there's a lot of things that are worth mentioning about who I am.
Give me a Michael Jordan any day of the week.
Well, Michael Jordan, he was known for talking shit.
Oh, wait, never mind.
He closed his eyes and shot a free throw once because somebody dared
Oh, yeah,
him.
I did the tongue thing.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Never mind, I don't want MJ.
and that's what I'm trying to.
He was just fun to watch.
That's what's so cool about that, though, is that you don't really know that, right? Like when you think of Michael Jordan, you don't really think of about that because you just see him. Oh, he's a great basketball player, and like like they all shook hands at the end and blah blah blah.
Give me the Larry Bird. Simple in the brain.
Simple in the
but get on the court.
He's pretty smart.
I do the numbers. I shoot the ball.
He's a pretty smart guy, I thought.
Simple in the brain. Get on the court.
Very smart man.
Give me the bird.
Okay, speaking of simple in the brain, I feel like we've closed the door on that issue, which is great because we got to move on. We got to figure out what can topple Maskers from the top of the pile.
Oh, that's right, Maskers.
I don't know.
So I was calling this Dude Suit Battle, which to me doesn't seem like a catchy title, so I'm going to steal it from another podcast and call this Who's Internet and Harder?
Why don't you just call it Fetish Fight?
It's not always a fetish.
You should call it Hard Nettin.
Hard Nettin. That's good. All right, it's Hard Nettin.
Hard Nettin.
Welcome to this week's issue of Hard Nettin. Until Now Maskers has been the undisputed champion. For those unaware, this is a group of people who just enjoy putting on a full body latex suit, putting on a mask, and just sitting motionless like a doll for hours at a time.
There was one at
Champ for
RTX Sydney.
2 weeks in a row, but they talk mad trash.
So this week, I had to dig a little deeper. I found something that I don't think even has a term yet. But it is women who place fruits in the pits of their arms and then crush them with their biceps.
Lawrence, that's another fetish. You realize that, right? You keep picking fetishes.
It may be. Is it?
Look at
I've
these
seen the
fucking-
thigh stuff.
Look
we've
at
seen
these.
this.
Look at
Yeah, the
those.
thigh stuff, but I'm talking purely about the bicep and the pit of the arm here.
Damn it.
What is that? An
That's
apple?
an apple?
Holy
Oh my
cow!
God.
So the
Whoa,
thing
that's
to know about
impressive.
this is, as far as I know, it doesn't have a term. Like they're not squishers or fruiters or poppers or whatever you have.
Do it.
This
But-
has been around for a long time, though.
She's
It
not
has
gonna,
been around
she's
for
gonna
a
have
long
to pull
time.
her arm down. There's no way.
And if you
You're gonna have to pull your arm down.
if you
I'm about to
search it,
finish. Come on.
you'll find hundreds of videos that are all just called women crushing fruits with their arms, and they all have
She did it.
at least 100,000 views. And for the sake of
I
illustration,
wish I had those biceps.
I know.
I brought some fruit.
Oh.
So if
wow.
anybody wants to step to the throne and challenge these
Go
ladies,
for it,
they
James.
James, do it.
can. I got a green apple, a red apple, and an orange. I
The
mean,
orange is probably a bad idea.
Orange is easy
are
mode.
You want the
squishier.
biggest one, right?
Oranges are easy mode.
What's denser?
Oh,
I think these apples are the same. I'll go with this one.
all right.
I'll take a red.
That's a man.
No.
That's a man.
Does anybody else
throw me
want
that
a
red
shot at this?
delicious.
There you go. So the thing to note about this is,
I'll never
like
be
that
as
she's-
strong as this
She's
woman.
covering her ears.
I feel like they're gonna.
It's impossible.
I figured it must hurt, right?
God, it
How do
hurts
they- how do
real
they do
bad.
it?
You can hear it kind of going.
I got a pump.
How do they do that?
Yeah, you gotta give it some.
Oh, I heard a crack.
Hear it.
Adam's got better
Like
flexibility, I
skin
think.
Stretching. Disgusting.
Oh, it fucking hurts.
Yeah, you gotta give it.
Adam's
you
got better flexibility. Here, I'll give.
These ladies are hard.
Oh, Elyse, do it.
Oh, you
So-
kinda
You
gotta
bent
pump it,
Was
Bruce.
bent
Pump
like
it.
that?
Pump it. Pump it.
Oh God.
Pull it, and you kind of loosen it up.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Oh no.
Come on, Bruce.
He just don't have.
We're not as strong as women, and we'll never will be.
I'm okay with that.
So here's the thing.
Come on. You worked out. You gotta pump.
Come on, girl. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh God! It made a squish
You
sound.
you flattened it.
Oh,
Kill it.
I feel like this is the kind of thing you go to the grocery store and then you test a lot
Yeah,
of
you find the
fruits.
Lawrence.
pineapple's good.
Lawrence, you want to try it?
No.
I'm
I'll try
ready,
it.
Lawrence. I'm
I give
ready to
up.
vote.
You want to eat this?
So the thing is, the thing to be aware of is, so you can look up quicksanding and you'll see all sorts of comments like, oh yeah, she's so stuck. Like it's clear they're jerking off.
Oh yeah.
Comments for these are all like, wow, she's really strong.
I'm impressed.
Female empowerment.
So I think
Masker still wins.
I don't think people are always watching this for sexual reasons.
It's this
Ha!
part.
No, just shoots out.
It's the
Tough.
forearm.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, you can't do
kills
it
you.
with a shirt on.
Yeah.
I've decided. I know.
So, and before we come to judgment, I want to put in a couple of things. Bear in mind that each week, as you're re-exposed to the champion, the winner, it becomes a little more commonplace. Maskers may have been interesting and delightful to hear about the first time, but we're like a month in now. So what you need to do is each week weigh how much delight masking versus the incumbent gives you. And
This could be. Oh wow! I honestly think women have more flexibility in general.
So they
if
can
they're
get more of a
strong, if they're
nutcracker thing
fucking
going?
ripped like that woman is, and they can.
she's gonna eat it off of her bicep.
I mean,
I
that's
don't
now
think it's
that's
flexi-
sexual.
All right,
I don't
that's
know if
pretty
it's-
sexual. Yeah.
Entirely flexibility.
She's making out with her
I think they're
biceps.
just really good at it.
Yeah, I think
They're also
just
very
really
good at it.
strong,
I don't
and
know.
women have a higher pain threshold as well.
That's true. They do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can handle it.
Probably.
I got this one that
of the
crack a little
bones.
bit, but yeah, it's not going anywhere. No, I accept
No.
defeat.
Yeah.
To all women.
So
That's a yeah.
I don't I respect masking, but I don't understand it. Meaning like I would never partake in it because that's not of my world. I understand fruit
and strength.
and strength.
Fruit
Yeah.
smashing.
So like James was saying today, he got back from the gym and he's like, you go today? I'm like, no. He's like, you're gonna feel it because we
That's
haven't gone to
terrible.
the gym in like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Oh, hold on now. 2.5 weeks.
Oh, sorry.
I went right up to the day that I had to
I was gonna
leave.
say, I went to the gym in Sydney.
Week and a half.
Well, okay. I think
all
it's time to
Look at that
pass this.
thumbnail in the upper right,
Yeah.
by the way.
Oh boy.
I really want to see that.
Where does the fruit end and where does it begin?
Yeah, I think also I value community. Masking seems to have a community
Yeah.
built around it. I don't know if this has a community built around it.
This
I
is
think
a
it's
one-off.
just-
None of these women are gonna break fruit again.
No, they will.
That's not true. Look, they're doing it over and over.
I know, but she's just doing it for the fame.
Good job. Good for these women.
That's what I mean. I think masking still wins.
Come on,
Alright.
get it.
I vote masking.
Okay.
I vote fruit.
Okay.
Yeah, I vote fruit as well.
Oh boy.
Well, it's up to you, Lawrence.
Does that mean I'm a tiebreaker? Wait, I shouldn't be allowed to vote.
I'll tell you why I vote fruit.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
These ladies are putting the time in. Okay, this is hours and hours at the gym. You're saying there's no community. We don't know that they don't go to the gym and one says, "Hey, check out my new fruit
And they
smashing video,"
break it?
and the
Yeah.
other one goes, "Oh yeah, that's cool."
There we go.
There could be women telling their friends about this. They're
it's gotta
using
hurt.
all different parts of the body here.
Well, yeah, but
Okay?
specifically, I'm talking about the elbow pit
She has great calves.
I think
Look
that.
at that, huh?
because
I don't-
women can like crush
Arnold would be
watermelons with their
proud of
legs.
that.
But what about the time that goes into putting on a diaper before you wear an entire latex bodysuit?
Anybody
I
could do
agree.
that. I
They have
could
to
do
buy
that.
that mask and like they have to. Yeah, they
I
can't
could do
piss
that.
for 12 hours.
You
I-
could, but why
That's
haven't
juicy.
you?
That's real juicy.
Oh, come on.
Ooh,
Oh, that's a
all
spot.
over the
They
sheets.
should put a tarp down.
all over the sheets.
This requires
that's a hotel.
months
Yeah.
of work. Masking anybody can get that.
Do the
What is-
watermelon.
What is that upper right?
Yeah, I know.
I
My own private club.
I vote masking still.
We're going down this hole.
Um,
Oh, it's called family.
Lawrence, you know
Reunion.
what you could do?
Yeah.
You could
What the
Well,
fuck?
he's having a good time.
worry
this
about
is
it.
interesting. You could pose it to the audience.
Oh,
You could put a poll
could be a tiebreaker.
up, and then whoever wins the poll
Whoops.
is who moves on.
Oh,
All right, that's fair. Yeah, I tell you what, audience in the okay in the description
wins.
for today's episode. Hopefully this will make it to the audio feed as well as the YouTube videos. But there will be a little straw poll there, completely formal straw poll, so no vote duplication, none of that business. We're running a respectable podcast here.
absolutely.
Please ignore what's on the monitor. He's really going to town on here. So yeah, you can make your voice heard and break this tie. It's the first tie in hard battles. What is it called?
Is that John Benet
Net.
Ramsey?
Hard Nettin. Fuck. All right. The first tie in hard Nettin will be broken by you live. Except next week we'll announce it. Now,
Whoa.
pretty much when that's gonna. Boy, there's. Some,
Oh,
Is that his face?
I think so. I think she's crushing his head.
oh boy. This
Well-
is a,
I
This
don't.
is-
Man, she's genetically different.
Boy,
in steroids
Oh,
probably,
she's-
but
nope, she's wrestling.
that's not. Ladies out there, if you're thinking about
Yeah.
doing weights, don't. She's not the end result.
No, that's steroids.
She also got breast implants in one of those videos.
I saw that. Yeah.
Well,
Well, thanks for listening.
hard work
everybody.
nonetheless.
Yeah, he's not fruit.
She
Stop
can't
that.
squat though. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at her go.
Good form. She could do a lot of things. Oh boy. There's a lot of veins.
Well, stay tuned for the post show. That's coming up.
Cheek, is that a friend?
We got some gifts from Sydney to share. Thanks to the delightful attendees of. Oh, my God, it just keeps going.
It sucks when you can't participate.
There we go.
Man, how big do you think their clitorises are?
Oh, God.
Hey, look at her wrestling video.
Jeez.
Speaking of muscular women, watch our wrestling video.
So yeah, we got the post show coming up. You can stay tuned and watch that live, or go to the website if you're a first member and check that out. We're looking over many wonderful fine arts and insightful comments from the community this week. And yeah, stay tuned for next week. We'll have another good show then. We'll figure out who wins this battle of hard netting.
Hashtag fruit smash.
Fruit smash. Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. See you in just a second. Stay
The
tuned.
Sex Wing trailer went up.
Oh yeah, we need to talk about that.
Here's what I know.
All right.
Somewhere in the Blizzard archives, they have files, like every good game developer, of naked versions of all their characters. Okay? And so they
Show us the
must
nudes.
know. I think she's been this skinny all along. This is just the first costume where she isn't dressed for the winter season,
might
thus
be
she
it.
isn't layered.
Yeah.
I mean, none of them have